Oh, welcome. Sorry, everybody, if I'm running a little bit late. Just technical issues. I've just come off the back of having my inner house class and came in to sit down at my computer to start working on this. And of course, then had no computer. And then had no something else. So one of those days. Okay, so let's start playing. I really have got no idea at the moment what I'm doing. I'm just going to put a few things back. Um, got no idea what we're going to do today. So I've pulled out a few things. I've pulled out this paper. Now I've just realised you guys can see me, which means I don't have the right. Oh, can someone let me know whether they can see me or not? Because I'm going to have to come back on and go back off and come back on with the right camera because I've got the wrong camera working. Okay, let's see if we can. You can see me and hear me. Well, that's good because I can't show you at the moment my camera desk. What has happened there? Okay, let's just see. I'm sorry, guys, if you can't hear me. I'm just trying to see whether I can change. Okay, I've got to change my camera. Okay, I'm going to have to bear with me 1 second. Let's just see if I can bring this up. Okay. I'm not quite sure what's happened here. My husband has just been disconnecting and
Yay, I'm back. Who can hear me? Joan, Pauline, Debbie. Someone let me know that they can hear me okay. Oh, boy. Yep, it was just a black screen, Joan. I'm sorry, but I'm having internet issues here. Let me just put some light on the situation. So I'm hoping if you can hear me now, I'm hoping you can see my desk view again. Oh, you can hear me. You can see my keyboard. Oh, technology. I hate it, Debbie. And since we've moved my computer from my old sewing slash craft room down here to my new craft room, it hasn't been behaving. So I think it's about time we got my son to come and visit because it's his old computer and for him to maybe give it a service. So, but thank you for hanging around. I am back. As I was starting to say before, I'm not quite sure exactly yet what I'm going to be doing. I'm maybe getting up and down a little bit to get a few things. I've grabbed a few things, I've got it in front of me. So I've got this lovely paper which we played with the other night. And I was sort of thinking, playing with a similar paper that they have in here to what we had the other night. Let me just see if I can find it. Because to me, it looks like thistles. Don't want to use the same one as we used the other night. At the back of it there. But no, that's quite pretty. Might do something with that one. Let's see what we come up with. It's probably only going to be a fairly simple sort of card today, just the fact that I'm now a little bit stressed. And let's just grab some papers. Now, the only problem is I can't use the new Petunia Pop because I've used that all up. I did pull out, I don't think that's going to go with it now. Maybe let's have a look. I was thinking of doing maybe something with the Blackberry Bliss. Maybe that might still work. Let's just cut this up and let's just get started. Let's make creating is the best de-stressor, I think, anyway, for me. So let's just cut this. I'm going to cut this at 10.5 because I love my 10 fold cards. And I'm going to score this at 14.9. So I hope you all are having a good day. As I was starting to say earlier, I've just come off the back of doing a in-house card class. One Friday a month I run a card class here, and today happened to be it. So it's sort of a rush to get it finished and then get onto this. And sometimes I can get something organised that I want to do, and sometimes I don't. Today is one of those days. That's okay. Okay. So there's our card base. Now I'm thinking of putting this on as a mat. Now let's just try to think, will I even do a Z fold card? I wonder how, love the colours in this. And you know what this actual one here reminds me of, except for the coral in this. But when I turned 21, my grandmother gave me a card for my 21st birthday. And she is of Scottish descent. Both her parents were Scottish. And on my card, she was an artist and she painted a bird and she had it sitting on the twig. And then on top of the twig, on top of the card, she actually had a piece of Highland heather don't know where she got it from. She probably picked it up one time. I don't know how she would have got it in Australia, because if anything, she probably would have picked it up when she was in Scotland. But that could have been well before the laws and everything we have now, unless she found someone that had the same thing here. But she attached that to the front of my card, and this always reminds me, these colours and everything reminds me of the Scottish Highlands, of where, where my family come from. So I love all these sort of rich purpley colours and green. Anyway, I'm trying to work out what sort of card am I going to do. Am I going to do a 10th fold card, which is going to be just a fairly basic sort of card, but just probably getting a little bit like what we did the other day? Or do I do something that's... I'm going to actually cut this. I'm not going to do a Z fold card, but I am going to cut off this about 7.5. So cut that down into a half piece. So please someone tell me that they can see me, hear me, and everything is back to normal and okay. Now I've got here a piece of wild wheat. I'm hoping that that still goes, because I love this wild wheat. This is a complete play. Because really, I don't know what we're going to end up with. We're going to end up with something pretty though. That is for certain. So I like to cut that in half and then cut this into quarters, and then we'll work out what size we're going to cut this down to. So I'm going to cut maybe 2 centimetres off my width and 2 centimetres off my length. Still got more card if this is not right. Hi Joan. Oh, thank you. Yes, it's good to see me back on here as well. Okay, I like that. So that's going to go there. And I think then I might take my basic white. Let's cut this in half and then in quarters. So the other colour I was thinking to use, I don't know, do we like the basic beige or the basic white? Because that's sort of got a little white in it, but then, oh, I think I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna change my mind. Let's go this one. And before we cut, I cut 2 off. I'm going to cut 2.5 off my length and 2.5 off my width. So basically what I've done is I've gone to a card front size, like the size of my card, and then I'm taking it down increments. So to get this piece here, so I've taken 7.5 centimetres off there to give me not a Z fold card, but like just a half fold card. I'll pop that onto there. So this piece here is a centimetre smaller all the way around, because I cut off 2 centimetres off this one. This one here I've cut 2.5, so it's going to give me a little piece about that big. So I'm just sort of framing it. I used to do a lot of matted things. Even with scrapbooking, I do a lot of matted things, because it's, it makes an image look a bit more professional, I think. I don't know whether that's quite the word for it, but a little bit more finished. Now I want to keep some of that background, but I want a little bit I'm going to lose that little bit of blue no matter what I do. So this piece here now has ended up being 12.5 by 8, I think. We'll measure that in a minute properly. So my finished size of this is 8.2 by 12.5. So 8.2, 7.9 we want to end up being. So I'm going to cut that there. That there. I'm going to remove that much off there. 7.9 because I want it 3 millimeters smaller. Let's say 12.5. It's probably 12.4. And I think I'm going to go that to there. Okay. No, I've got a little bit too big, so let's need to take a bit more off this. So that's quite interesting though. What is that? I ended up with those two pieces the same. I'll take 3 mil off. So let's just take that much off there. Whoops, sorry guys, can't see. I'm just taking a bit more than a hair off there. I just want that to be that's pretty close. So basically how I've got to this, let's just put this into perspective. So this is my card front, okay, which I cut it at 10.5 by 29.9 and scored it at 12.9, 14.9, sorry. I've then cut 7.5 centimeters off, so I've removed this piece here. Now, this piece, I've cut it 2 centimeters smaller than this piece here. So if this one here, let's just write all this down. So if my card front is right where you guys can see it, for some reason I'm back to front, so this is going to be interesting. What did we say it was? 10.5, whoops, you can't see it there. 10.5 by 14.9, remove the 2 centimeters off to get down to this side, so that's my DSP. And then my gold piece is 8.5 by 12.9. So that doesn't, yeah, that's pretty much right. Yep, 12.9. Then my basic beige piece was, I cut it 2.5, so that's 8 by 12.4. That means then my DSP piece should end up being 7.7 by 12.1. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I hope you can see that. Oh, hi Lee, sorry you can't stay. Oh, that'd be nice seeing him at school. Oh, you enjoy your time, Lee, with him. Okay, so that's my measurements, and that's what I've worked that out as being. So then let's adhere all this together. Okay, is there any glue left in this bottle? Might be getting towards the end of it. No, there we go. Getting towards the end. Shake it enough and get it all down. I do have a stand here somewhere to hold it upside down. So let's just pop that in there. This is just such beautiful paper. So who else has been playing with this paper? And have you been enjoying it? I think though, because it is such a, like there's a lot of, I'm not going to say detail because it's not detail, it's in the paper, but I mean, they are scenes. It does tend to limit you a little bit on what you can and can't do with it, but not completely. You sort of, it's, it is beautiful though. I love, and as I said, this one just sort of, not that I've been to Scotland, but just reminds me of, I've got glue all over myself. Is there a third thing that can go wrong for me today? Hello, Deborah. That's okay if you're running a bit late. I'm sort of been all over the place a little bit. Okay. So there's that. Let's put our glue back into there. And that's going to glue onto there. So what I want to do is grab my pencil, just draw a rough line on there. I can rub that out, and that's the side my glue is going to go on, is this side here. I do have another tub of glue here. It's can open up another one. Now I'm not taking my glue all the way up to my pencil line, and I will rub that out later on, just because I don't want the glue going to the wrong side. Beautiful. It will sit up okay because we've got enough depth in this piece here. It can sit up. So now we need to put an insert piece in there, but plus do something else to give it a center, or somewhere for a sentiment to go. So nope, just playing. So let's grab another piece of this basic beige, and we did cut this down 2.5 centimeters. So because what I like to tend to do is cut my A4 cardstock into quarters, and then I find it much easier to work with when I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do. So I'm probably doing my measurements a little bit back to front, in the fact that I'm just taking it down from where from that quarter size down. So I've just done that at 2.5, and I want to do a little piece of gold, or wild wheat I should say, and this was 2 centimetres. So two. I'm hoping I'm making sense today. I feel like I'm just all over the place. It is gorgeous paper, isn't it? I'd love it. And that piece there can go on there. And I've got a little bit of that. That's going to go on there. That's just a little bit off cut. Just saw it there and I thought, yes, that will work. So let's pop this all together. Okay, who else has made something using these papers yet? Who has created a card from this beautiful sweet? At the moment, I can't even tell you what the sweet's called because my catalogue is not here in front of me. I know the stamp set is called Thoughtful Wishes. And the DSP, which is usually around about, yep, Thoughtful Journey. So that's probably the name of this particular sweet. I'll have to go out and find my husband in a minute and apologise to him because I had to go at him trying to fix my computer. I was starting to get very frustrated. I didn't call him anything naughty, but I just told him to get out of the room. Took my frustrations out on him. You have them on your wish list. Oh, time to get them off your wish list. Problem is I tend to collect this sort of paper. Okay, so that's going to go there. And then this we want to pop that in there. We want to make sure that it's hidden behind the other. So let's put some glue on the back here. And because this glue will allow me to slip this up for a little bit, I should have enough time to move it in position so it's hidden underneath the other. So let's pop that there and very quickly bring that over. Oops. Just want to come that down a little bit. Nice. There we go. So there's the inside of our card. And there's the outside of it so far. So now let's just decide what we're going to do for our sentiment. So let's have a look. So here's our stamp set. We've got Dearest Friend, Thinking of You Fondly, Thanks, Missing You, You Make My Life Better. The other day I did Dearest Friend. Maybe Thinking of You Fondly. Okay, let's bring in my favourite, which is the Stylish Shapes. And I need another piece of let's just cut this down to a 1/4 sheet. Makes it that bit more manageable. Let's grab that stamp. Puts it there. And I think I want also maybe this one. Like that. So let me show you how I like to mount, especially big stamps. I'd like to take the whole stamp, that's the backing, plus the image piece, and pop it onto a block. So I've got both of those there together. And when I'm doing big stamps, I sometimes feel that if you're taking your stamp to your sticker image on here, what can sometimes happen if you don't get that nice and flat, you can get, especially on really big ones, you can get a little bit of bowing or bubbling underneath your stamps. So by doing it this way, I'm actually taking my sticker to the stamp, not my stamp to the sticker. And I can get a much flatter image because my sticker is nice and flat on my surface. So then I'm going to take, so that's my adhesive, that's the side that's going to go to the stamp. And then I'm going to take that and lay it down over the top of my stamp. And that way, that's now there all secured. So when I'm doing big stamps, that's the way I like to do it. The other way, of course, because here's my other stamp that I've yet to do, the other way, of course, is to leave your sticker on here, peel off the backing, and this is okay, I find, for smaller stamps. So I've left my sticker there, take the backing off my stamp, and then take my stamp there too. So that one there, I've taken the stamp to the sticker. This one here, I took the sticker to the stamp. That makes sense. It's just two different ways you can do this. That's my preferred method of doing it this way. But this way is good when you've got smaller stamps. So we all have our own way of doing things, and that's probably mine. Now I'm going to need a little bit of scrap paper. I've got some here on the side, so I'm just going to, you can't see it, but it's just on the side here, just where I write my notes on, and I'm going to use that because I want to stamp off a little bit. So, and I've got some Blackberry Bliss ink pad here. So what I'm going to do, looks like this ink pad needs a bit of TLC. I'm just going to ink that up. I'm just really worrying about the top half of it, and I'm going to stamp that off on my bit of scrap over there, and then I'm going to stamp that onto my cardstock. So I'm getting a much lighter version of that stamp. Okay. Don't know whether you can see that, probably not. There we go. My stamp's got a little bit of bubbling and happening, like little beads. It almost looks like the foam. I'm not quite sure what causes it, but sometimes what you can do is get a spoon and rub over the top of it and just push that surface down. I don't know whether it's the ink just wanting to come to the top. It is a slightly probably older ink pad. I think, if my memory serves me correct. Anyway, I'm just going to give that a really a good rub that ink around. Get right into those corners. I've kept some old plastic spoons. So I've got a few that I just keep washing and reusing just for this purpose. And that's just brought my ink pad back to where it should be. And I will give that spoon a bit of a wash later on. Don't know why inks sometimes do that, but every now and then. Now I've got ink all over my hands, so I just got to make sure I don't put that onto something else. Anyway, we've got our sentiment there, and I'm going to just pop that onto a block. I think I need to wash all my blocks as well. Okay. And I'm going to grab, don't have my memento here, but I've got my stays on. So I'm just going to use my stays on black. Get a really nice coverage of ink on there. And then over the top of the flower head part of the stamp. So I'm just going to stamp my sentiment. Now that doesn't look very good at all. I'm not happy with that. I don't know whether you can see that, but I can't even read that sentiment. It sort of has got a little bit lost. Okay, we might have to rethink. Let's try this again. We might have to stamp off and make this lighter. If not, we might just go and choose a different colour. So let's just give this another try. So we'll ink this up again. This time I'm going to stamp off once. I'm going to stamp off twice. And let's see what happens when I stamp. That's a lot lighter. So let's just see if I can get, because this sentiment, the font they've used is a very light, like a thin font. So we really don't need a lot of colour to be able to see this. So let's see if this is going to work better. Stamp over the top of that. Still don't think it's actually as dark as what I would have liked it. It's still not quite what I wanted. Okay, let's rethink this. Bear with me 1 second because I need to get the cloth to clean my stamp. We're having one of those interesting let's play days. Might be a minute. And let's go for a lighter colour. So let's try a fresh freezer. Give that a good clean off. Okay. Flip that over. We'll work on the other side. Close that one up. And let's stamp there. That's full strength. That's half strength. So that's looking a lot promising. So I've stamped one at full strength and I've stamped one at half strength. That's better. I can see it now. But let's work out which one we want to use. Okay, so let's have a look. So we've got this one here, which is at full strength, and that one which is at half strength. It does make it a little bit hard when all the wording and everything is around the wrong way. I'll have to work out whether I can flip that. I don't know whether if I go into, I won't do it now because if I go into settings, I'll probably lose everything. But I'll have to have a play. So I'm sorry that is around the wrong way. I think I like the darker one, the full strength one. You do too, Deborah. I think might be the good one to go with. So let's have a look. So all I want to do is circle over the top, but I think that one there could be a little bit too big. This one, so that does look. No, that could look quite nice. Because it is fitting that all in. This one here fits it in, but it's very tight around it. Okay, I think we're going to go with that one. Let's just trim this piece of cardstock down so I can fit it into my trimmer. How does that look? What do you think? Not too big, I hope. Now I'm just wondering whether, let me just grab, I think the jute trim, which we've got in the wild wheat. Another idea as well. I've got a couple of ideas here. So let's just see what we can come up with. I just think we need something in behind there just to give it a little bit more interest. So I've got some of the new ribbon. Now this is the white and pink combo trim. So when you purchase this, you get the pink one as well as the white. But I've got here some blackberry bliss in my blends. Now I'm sort of thinking this is the lighter toning. I'm not quite sure whether this is going to come through colour well enough. This is the fine tip. Let's see what the... Ooh. Now that's come up very different. It's the same pen but different, darker in colour. I'm wondering if these need to be replaced. I think it does actually. That doesn't look too happy there. Let's just have a look. This is just a play. Haven't used this colour very often in my blends because it's sort of like almost got more of a pinky tone rather than that purpley. I don't know. I don't know whether the colour is going through enough. You'd have to colour both sides. Or the other one I've got is this is the Fresh Freesia. Problem is I don't want too much white showing because I haven't actually used white in this. I've used that basic beige. Don't know. Or not using that. I'm going to cut that off just so then, because it's just sample pieces, but I don't want to be colouring too much. Don't want to do too much damage to my tips, but that's two different colours there. Or whether I go into this may be better. Happy with these pieces. Now these are just threads of the jute that I've stripped down because it's about 3 ply and I've stripped it down. Don't want anything that's particularly neat and tidy because the fact that it's like a wild okay, I think I'm intending to like maybe the wild wheat in that. Sort of giving, like to me, this is like a As I said before, this, even though I've never been to Scotland, this sort of represents Scotland to me, and the colours and everything that they've used, and that's why I've sort of tended to go towards the wild wheat and the blackberry bliss. Um, but yeah, it's sort of, with using the jute, it's also bringing that ruggedness into it. So that's my idea at the moment. But what I think I might do is put a bit of, throw it around, maybe a bit of seal on the back of that. Let's just bring in a few twists and things. Don't want to go too over the edge, but I don't want anything that's too structured either. I don't know whether I like that yet either. Let's just have another. Oh, it's left a furry back on it. Maybe something a bit more. I'm just trying to tie one of my funny bows at the moment. Instead of going for loop-de-loops, let's see what a bow. Needs to be a bit bigger than that. Now I've managed to tie a knot in there. Oh, this has been a delightful day. I know you're all probably thinking, what the heck are you doing, girl? So I'm starting to think that too. Let's just tie one of these. I don't even think I like that. I know I'm fiddling around here a lot, but to me that is so big and chunky. No, that does nothing. Just stripping a new piece here down to the strands because the others that I've been playing with have gone pretty furry. If I just take and I think I'm going to do it like that, or maybe at the front. I think at the front might be better. Okay, we're just going to go with this now. Enough mucking around. I could be sitting here all day doing this. Let's just pop some of these dimensionals on. Pop that there. Just grab a glue dot. It needs something, but I just getting the right something. I'll make those a little bit smaller. Okay. Well, I think we've had enough fiddling around. Don't know whether maybe a couple of these on here. Maybe just to give it a bit more. not even overly happy with that. I'm being fussy today, I am. Okay. Oh, now I can't. There we go. Something just came up on my screen on my side. So there's my card today. A lot of mucking around. I'm terribly sorry about that, but sometimes it's just the way my head goes. But yeah, just a really simple little card. There's the inside of it. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. Let me just bring it up so you can see. Unfortunately, it's a little bit blurry. I'm terribly sorry about that. But, oh, I think I'm going to have a wonderful weekend. You too, Deborah. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed that. Yeah, just a lot of mucking around and fiddling. Today, just one of those unplanned, unsure what we're going to do, but I hope you've understood a little bit of what we're mucking around. And sometimes how my brain works. It's just sometimes it can be a little bit all over the place, but something eventually comes out of it. Not 100% certain on that bow, but it's there now. Maybe it might need to be a little bit smaller. Now I've made it smaller, I can't make it bigger. But there we go. Beautiful paper, really worthwhile having a play with it and just seeing what comes out of it. I mean, sometimes you just got to let the paper take you places rather than having a plan. But there's my Scottish Highlands for you, my take on it. Okay, have a lovely day, have a lovely weekend, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you next week. See you later. Take care. Bye.